Hello everybody and welcome, and sorry for the quality, but we're doing something different. And what we're gonna be doing here, no commentating, no just overanalyzing or reading cards, because I finally made the mid-range deck that I wanted to make. But let's begin. Now, why is that so important? It's because I actually started the game playing as a mid-range deck, even before knowing mid-range, simply focusing on the value generated from synergy of cards. And that's exactly what mid-range is about, and it just so happens that it's one of the meta types within Magic. So this is the classic Sultai Midrange, especially in this meta. It took me a while to build it, so I suck at it. Just like with all the meta decks, it takes a lot of practice to even get good at it, and mastering it, that's some big stuff. Now, the reason for that is all those situations that you need to make a call in. So right now, we're going to be focusing on mistakes. So far, we've had 2 Wildgrove Walkers, that one has been removed. Llanowar Elves for a bit of ramp. I did notice this is a bit of an older version of this build, and I had changed it a little bit. I had, I believe I added, what's its name, Karn. Karn goes great with this deck because this deck, it's a bit more on aggro side. When it comes to mid-range, sometimes you may have a control core, sometimes aggro core. Here it's a bit more on aggro side. Now the addition of Hydroid Krasis is very important because it can draw you cards. It's great for control, great for damage. Okay, we are exchanging, doing that 3 damage. Now, I feel like not attacking with the Llanowar Elves was... yeah, it wasn't a mistake. It was just negligible. Let's see, Incubation Druid. Here we are hunting for mistakes. Rather than just having fun, I just want to practice. This is basically me analyzing the game to see where I can improve. We've got a bit of a lag here. Let's see, we've got 3, 5, 6 mana open. One mistake that I'm seeing, I should have played Hydroid Krasis to refill my hand. My opponent has stopped out, and I had 6 mana open. I believe I did not play it because I didn't see the Llanowar Elf. What can I say? I don't really play blue that often. Oh, it looks like that wasn't a mistake after all. Okay, good. Let's see. Okay, Incubation Druids, he's got a 6 mana in total, but he's able to adapt. Hostage Taker. I actually removed Hostage Taker mostly because by the time you cast that creature, it's just too much threat. Niv Mizzet, and I happen to draw the Hostage Taker, so Niv Mizzet is fucked. Niv Mizzet, you're fucked. Fair enough.
Okay, that was funny.
That was funny. Okay, now another very common mistake place is the sideboarding. This is something that I got from one of the meta decks before I can understand and build my own. I want to understand these cards. So sideboarding becomes one of the biggest things that the new players who are playing the meta deck, or net decking, so to speak, make the most mistake of. And that's where you can spot a good player or a bad player who's just using these great cards. This is a heavy machine gun, but you can't let a kid use a heavy machine gun. So that's one thing that you need to keep in mind. Now, I did make a lot of changes to this deck. Later on, I removed the Cryo, the Carnarium, added a few other things. So, now we know we're fighting a mirror match. In mirror match, I feel like a Thief of Sanity is a good choice. Because he will at least eat... No, it won't be a good choice because while he can eat the removal... Yeah, my opponent is going to bring in removal. It's pointless. That's the thing with Thief of Sanity. Sure, it's 3 mana and all, but if it dies to removal, you just don't get your money's worth. And it's a prime target for removal for obvious reasons. Okay, 4 lands, Find Finality. Find Finality is such a great card. That card is just overpowered. 6 cost, selective land, the board wipe, and a 2 card advantage. Dude, that thing is great. Okay. Breeding pool, breeding pool. Next turn, I want me some... okay, he is not exactly mirror because he also splashed in black. Sorry, I mean red. Okay, 2 mana. I think so far it's ideal. So far it's ideal. Not seeing any mistakes here, but that's the thing. I gotta watch so many of these games in order to find the proper mistakes. Okay, attacking, Now here a question is, Jade Light Ranger or Merfolk Branch Walker? I think a Jade Light Ranger, yep. Jade Light Ranger. Jade Light Ranger explores. Find finality. Now, to keep that or not to keep that is a big question. I am assuming that my opponent has a lot of removal, so I'm keeping it right now, which he does, but it's an exile. So, okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, breeding pool. Attacking. Merfolk Branch Walker. Current sign of Urza, yep. Definitely keep. My opponent is getting land screwed, so that is preventing me from analyzing this match properly, and my opponent leaves. Well, that was quick. Regardless, this was also an example. This was also an example of how to, say, analyze your games, to focus on your mistakes and improve yourself as a player. I've seen great use from this method personally, because like 6 months ago I was barely able to even play, and now, well, I'm pretty decent. Platinum or tier 4, that's mostly because I was trying to build this deck before I did anything good. I was a diamond in the previous one before it reset. But ranks themselves, they aren't that important. What matters is what your final performance is. Ranking up, it's one thing, and then your consistent performance, what kind of mistakes that you're making is definitely the main thing that sets you apart. They need to be so, like, minuscule, and then there's still mistakes, so you still have to keep fixing them. And it's the right attitude. It might take time, but by watching these older games, you will be able to improve. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. I understand that this one might not exactly be the most engaging. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have learned how to improve your own game, and we'll see you next time.